Alright, well, it's the next day, so we're gonna go get Duncan again, because you kind of have to, and then we'll go to the shop and see what we got going on there. Got Duncan again, of course. My homie Jackson got me hooked on the caramel craze lattes, so you know what to do. Made it to Defiant. What's our game plan for today?
So we're going to be taking this 5.3 that's bolted up to its Z32 trans, and we're going to be setting it into its home until we actually start this thing up. So we still have the firewall that we have to finish patching, but we want to leave all of that open because when I go and run the manifolds and the 3-inch exhaust with how low this car is, I want to make sure I have clearance. And if I go and patch all of that right now, when I do run my exhaust, there's a potential for me redoing all of that sheet metal work. So we're going to leave it open for now, drop everything in, bolt it all up, mount everything in the engine bay, go from there.
Alright, we got motor in. We're gonna have to go underneath, put the shifter back on, and then put the tranny mount back onto the chassis. So gonna have to crawl under there and put that up. See you in a second. Let's get the shifter on. Alright, time to put drive shaft in. We got a one-piece aluminum from Shaft Masters. The turnaround time was very quick. I think it was under a week from it being made to being at my house. So I'm gonna throw this in, and then I have no idea what we're gonna do next. Alright, whole drivetrain is in, rear end, drive shaft, trans is fully bolted, engine we don't have tight, but we're worried about that when it comes to it. I mean, I probably could tighten it, but another thing I forgot to do last night was fully tighten up the rear subframe because I had to drop it down to get some bolts out for the control arms. So I'm just going to tighten those up quick so it's finalized. So on top of everything else that's S13, we're also running an S13 radiator, and Nick fabbed up a custom bracket since it's way easier to take the engine in and out with the core support missing, and we could just bolt it in and out as we please. So I'm going to get that bolted up, then I think we might put a hydro in Nick's 330 CI, because we were supposed to get that ready for the last drift day of the season of 21, but ran out of time. So put this radiator in, and then I think either do the hydro or we might play with Giles Honda down there. Alright, so we got our core support mounted in. These are the tabs that can go on top of the radiator, and we're gonna have like a rubber bushing or a washer in there to kind of soften the blow, so it's just not metal on metal. Alright, radiator's in. Bolts are tight. Kind of see on the back side there. You got the factory rubber bushings down here. We just had to cut these pins down so we could like push it up and then slide it down in. So now Nick's gonna have to figure out how to run exhaust. So it's gonna be pretty tight on the driver's side with the steering shaft, and especially with this back port right here. So that's gonna be fun for him. Alrighty, we're gonna end it there. We got the radiator in, the engine, trans, drive shaft, rear subframe, along with all the ISR arms for the front and rear. Just gotta wait for Nick to make the exhaust from headers back, so we know where and how to run the brake lines and the fuel lines. But I have to give a huge shout out to Team Defiant. They have helped me with so much, especially Nick. His fabrication skills are like unmatched around here. Like there's nobody else I could ever go to that will give me the results that he gives me. So especially with them giving me a place to work on my car, to keep my car so I'm not working on the cold ground, like they have been a godsend. My car has been down since fall 2020. That's the last time I've driven my car, like even at an event, fall 2020. As soon as that event was over, we took it down to the shop and we tore it apart. So it definitely should not take that long to do an LS swap, but it's not free. Like there's a lot of money that goes into swaps, and everybody knows that. So with that being said, if you want to leave a comment, feel free. If you want to like, feel free. If you made it this far, I'm low-key surprised, but hopefully we'll be back next week to watch Nick build the exhaust. I know he might be filming some of it because obviously I work during the week like 12, 13 hours, just depends on where I have to go during the week. But definitely appreciate you guys for sticking around, and we'll see you later.